First video, we're going to cover lower body, which we're going to harden those glutes, the hamstrings, and the quads, right? The reason why you should do this exercise is because of this, right? Now, women are typically lower body dominant. So when you guys exercise your legs, right, it aids to fat loss elsewhere in the body. So the better you look through here and here, the better you're going to look through here. For the guys, it's kind of the opposite, right? So when guys work out their legs, it aids to growth in the upper body, right? So if you look better through here, you're going to look broader through here. And we know girls like guys with broad shoulders. So that's the reason why both women and men should squat. And the first exercise of our 3-part video series is the squat. Now, in my opinion, the squat is the most single-handedly best exercise that you can do. Okay, so I'm going to break this squat down into 3 different variations that you can do. It's going to be advanced phase, intermediate phase, and then a beginner phase. Okay, so the first one we're going to start with, we'll start with the advanced phase. Okay, so I'm going to take Manny here. Okay, he's going to demonstrate the squat. So the squat is going to target the hamstrings, the glutes, the quads, and the core. Okay, so the lower he goes, the higher he's going to raise the hands. That's going to help keep your chest up. Okay. And so look at his knees are over the toes, or excuse me, they're not over the toes. Okay, most of his weight is on the heels. Okay, he's not coming up on his toes. Okay, that in my opinion is a perfect squat. Okay, back is nice and flat. Now that is ideal. Okay, so here we go. Demonstrate a few more, and let's get one more, Manny. Let's get one more for the viewers. And there we go. Perfect. Okay, so that's how you do an ideal squat, okay, and on these strengths of it. Okay, now for the second one, we're going to do the intermediate phase squat, okay? So he's going to go back in the same position. So essentially, pretty much the same thing for everything. The only thing we're going to change is the depth of the squat, okay? So on this one, he's going to raise the hands, keep the chest up, he's going to stop it parallel. So for those of you that struggle going all the way down, have tight hamstrings, okay, have tight hips, you can stop right here. Okay, right where the knees meet the glutes. Okay, that's the second one. All right, so he's gonna do a few more of those. Make sure you guys are taking your notes. There we go. Okay, we'll do one more. Stopping at parallel, coming back up. There we go. Perfect. Awesome. Okay, so for the beginner phase, for those of you who have never attempted a squat or currently struggle doing squats, okay, this one is for you. Okay, so you could either use a chair, a sturdy stool, you could use a bench, whatever you have access to, just make sure it's sturdy, and when you sit on it, you're not going to flop over, okay? So hold on one second, man, you stay right here, don't go anywhere. Okay, so for you guys, we have a bench. We're going to show you with the bench, okay? So let's get started. Okay, so Manny, like I said, essentially, everything is virtually the same. Okay, so right here, he's about 8 inches in front of the bench. He's going to sit back with the hips, okay, lean back just a little bit. He's going to plop back up. Okay, feet are flat, the knees aren't going too far over the toes, you sit back with the hips. So ideally, what you want to do, right, so when you sit down, whatever it may be, the stool, the bench, okay, a chair, you want to pretend like there's an imaginary scale, right? You want the scale to read half your body weight. So you don't want to completely sit down on it, but you don't want to just barely tap it. It wants to be just right, okay? So that's perfect for the beginner phase. Now for you advanced guys, let's start out with 4 to 5 sets of 20 reps in the squat, okay? For the intermediate phase, okay, let's start with 3 sets of 20. For the beginners just starting out, let's just do 3 sets of 10, okay, to get you started. And once you get better and better, then we can up the sets, we can up the volume, and then eventually get the glutes, the core, the hamstrings, and the quad that you always wanted, okay? Until next time, thank you. What's up, everyone? Thank you so much for watching the last video on our lower body segment. Stay tuned for the next, where we focus on upper body and show you how to perfect and master the push-up. Can't wait, looking forward to seeing you.